Hey guys, welcome back to part 2, and in this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to make I'm going to show you how to finish the menus, and we're going to make an options menu, which is still just finishing it, but yeah, sorry, this is a YouTube thumbnail, but yeah, if you guys remember, last time what I showed you was how to make a warning screen, and how to make the menu, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to finish it with static, continue, an options menu, and yeah, so let's get into it. So yeah, step 1 is static, which, obviously you just search it up, unless you want to try making your own, but I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah, you just find a GIF of static, save it onto your computer, we'll call this static, and yeah, make sure to make a costume first, because if you just upload, instead of uploading the GIF, it's going to upload every single frame into it, which is definitely going to be, bad. But in the link this is a very long link, but I'll send the exact link I found this image, unless you want to, use your own, because there's actually a lot. I may actually go with this static. I think it looks a lot cooler. Even though it's not the classic FNaF static, I still think it is very good and cool looking. And unlike the first one, it didn't give me a virus warning. So I'll leave in the description this one. But like I said, you can use whichever one you want. And then for some like this one, you do have to resize it. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You can do it on the one screen, so you can either just do when I click set goes to 75 and then just forever next costume. But you can just do that, and then yeah, it's gonna show on the warning, which it looks fine, but honestly, rather not. So for now, we're just, at least for what I'm gonna do, is I'm just gonna do a simple just hide, and then when I receive menu, show, just, and set the start to 75 because there's not a point to have it at 100. But yeah, and then yeah, it's not gonna be there. And then yeah, just like that, boom, static. And it actually looks pretty fun, but I'm gonna show you how to add an extra thing. You don't have to do this, but I'm gonna show you how to make static lines, which I was just gonna use these, but it's probably better to search up static line GIF. So you just have like a simple line of static. This may not work, you may have to do it manually, which will suck. So okay, there's this, which, well, no, I was gonna show you guys how to add like statics of line, but it never really looks good, and there's not a point. If you want static line, I'll leave in the description this static for anyone that wants one that's more like gritty looking. But yeah, no, I'll leave in all three. I'll leave in, the classic, this, and then the one I'm using. So yeah, so now we have a static, and you always want to, and I'm doing this because, like I said, you always want to make sure it works. It will a lot of times be tedious, especially when you get into the deeper things like the night finish screens and stuff. That will take a long time. But yeah, as you can see, I have it working where, when you boot it up, it shows the static there, and it's all good. So now, like I said, we're gonna make the continue button, which the continue button, new game, actually is very similar code. It's just one of the main differences. Yeah, and real quick, I'll explain it after, but real quick, I am just adding it, copying the X axes and then changing the Y, so it's a little bit under. Oops. And then yeah, it's the exact same code. It's just you want to make it say when I click continue instead, and that's really all you need to change. And now you will just need to duplicate that script for everything real quick. The when I receive continue, but since we already have have the ghost. Nothing really changes. Oh, and you do need to also add, the text. And also, this is something that you can also add, which I am going to once again do. You can do a little that symbol, so it kind of like indicates you have it selected, which does look pretty cool. It's like a little. I am gonna have to extend the box so you can like go off with that. But yeah, that is something extra I'm adding, and luckily all you need to really do is just when it's changing the side, switch to costume, and then same with this, and then it just, which that does look really cool. And then yeah, we're doing the same for the continue, make 2. But you don't have to do this. This is just something I'm adding because I do want to try like adding everything, like something for everybody. So if you want to like do this instead, I have that version. Or if you want to do it like this, I have that version. But yeah, you can see I just like that, and now they both work where they both do the fade out thing. And now I also need to do that to the static, which yeah, you can just do it like this. But what I do like to do instead is that since the static's already kind of like that, I do like waiting maybe like 4 seconds. So by the time everything else is slightly faded, the static can start fading. It sounds kind of confusing. It may take some trial and error, but I do like to do that, because now when it does that, okay, see, so it waits a little bit too long. So definitely like 3 seconds, but that's just so so then it just doesn't fade out, and then it's kind of just like, because you will be able to tell because it's already 75, so it's gonna like fade out like much faster than everything else. So let's see, it should, yeah, you see how the static like perfectly fades out. So yeah, that works. So now we're going to do the newspaper, which this is not that important, but I do like to layer them. So you see how the static's all the way up here because that's like number 1. But I'm not saying like if later like something else put it up here, but you don't want to like, kind of have everything in one spot, like all the menu stuff up here, then night, just like that. So then everything's kind of like organized in a way, so you don't have to like mess with all that. Okay, time for the newspaper. Newspaper, pretty simple. You can just, you just get the head of the guy, you know, may have to change the lines if you added any. Boom, make a little, and then you can just add a little box around the head. And like I said before, don't make it look exactly like this. You mostly, this series is mostly for following code and not sprites, because the sprites in this will be kind of dookie. And instead of doing a normal like newspaper where it's all like spread out, like the papers are all like that, I think I'm actually just gonna do it where it's like stacked on top of each other, kind of like, and it's like like a normal newspaper where it's all like folded. Now that's definitely gonna create like a cool effect. But yeah, so I'll just do it like that. I may have to change it because I don't know the exact proportions of what the newspaper's gonna say. But yeah, so yeah, now I have this like thing. So I just do the normal, just hiring, and this should definitely be like, unless you don't want it to be like that, I definitely think it should be sheriff, just since it's like a newspaper and it looks like actually like a real one. So it's just hiring at Ricky's. You could do like job. It mostly depends on what you're dealing with, like the amount of space you have. And then this is optional, but I do like doing this, adding a bunch of lines like that. you will have to make a separate text, but then you can get this cool like underline look to it, where it's like, you see it's like underlining it like it's like a real newspaper. And then you will probably have to adjust your newspaper depending on what it says. That's not good. But since this is just a series, you do want, but you could use like FNaF newspaper as a reference. God, Jesus. But yeah, you can just use the FNaF newspaper as like reference. So I'm using Yahoo, so sometimes it just decides not to look. See, this isn't really what, you want to look for. See, yeah, this looks, see, just family pizza. And if you want, which what I did for my first game, and don't judge me, I was just trying to get the game released, but like, okay, not that, but you can like use references like this, like the ever go popular piece, like you can just look at these for like references and then kind of make your own. So I'm just gonna do just local pizzeria, just looking for a night guard. Let's see, looking for an employee to work. And actually, this seems to be like fitting perfectly, but to work the night shift at the establishment. Always make sure to correct your grammar. I'm using Grammarly, so it should just do that automatically. And then, yeah, so you can word it however you want, but normally how it works is that, it's like, yeah, so you can word it however you want, but the normal way, well, normal, quote unquote, but just the normal way is just like the opening, like, it's just like the basis of the job, just like we're looking for a place, and then the second body of text. And I know some people have problems about getting like the text like right like the same size. Just copy and paste, and then you can just change it. But yeah, and then the second one, it's like what the job is. The third one's normally kind of like a freebie, but most people do just do like a not responsible if you die, which is kind of basic. And then yeah, maybe like bottom corner like the job, like where to apply. But yeah, so it's just I'm just gonna mostly, you do want to put thought into this while doing this, because because you don't want people to just like, hey, this is just a copy. What's the, I mean, many people, I mean, some series like the Return to Freddy's have gotten popular by straight up just stealing sprites. I mean, like the first two games, they just stole stuff, but you try making stuff unique and don't just like rip off others. You can maybe take inspiration, and maybe even now and then you can like maybe like like search a mechanic from like a fan game and not directly copy it, but definitely like take inspiration from it where it is like similar. And instead of doing the, I always love to do the what could go wrong, because that's just like a classic line in the FNaF series. I just always love when something says it, and that's what I'm gonna do, especially since I can't really fit it. But yeah, let's see, just loco, monitor, and then what could go wrong, like a lot. And then right here, I'll put just the one, and I actually wonder, don't make the place real. You could just do a random number, and it's not like this is like a, unless you want to post on Game Joel, but it's not like something that's actually going to be like published. But yeah, if you just make sure not to use real numbers. Maybe if you really want to, use your own number and then just pick up any calls. If you want to do like a weird ARG thing. See, and then see, that's why the FNaF thing does 188 Faz Bear, which I may be dumb, and I'm dumb, a lot, very dumb, but I'm pretty sure that just means, like, you convert the letters into numbers, like that would be 6, you know, at least I think so, but yeah, no, that's why they do that. But yeah, I'm gonna do that too, just so I don't, like, accidentally use somebody's phone number, because, like I said, it's not like this game's gonna blow up and, like, there's gonna be, like, 50 kids like, hello, this funny rap, you know. And I actually think I'm gonna do what they did with what's shortened, it says Faz, I'm gonna do 188 Rick Pizzeria. And then probably somewhere, you should put, like, maybe, like, $120 per night, or, like, yeah, just, like, per night, yeah, you do want it to make it realistic, because you don't want to be, like, $50 per night, you know, something that just doesn't really make sense. And then I'll make it kind of small, so it's, you know, it's, like, there you go, and it does kind of suck, and what I am going to do is that I'm just going to copy and paste to fill out this bottom, but I think definitely make it say something else, so it's not just, like, obvious that you, and on it, that's what I did for mine. Well, at least in the original game, I, like, added stuff, but there's really no point. Nobody's gonna, like, read it, so you might as well just copy it. And that's what I'm doing for my second game. I should have just copy and pasted, just, like, everything all around. But I used this cool blow effect, which I'm not gonna show you how to do, since it's, like, it's not sketchy, but you'd have to do some stuff. But see, yeah, now I can maybe just put, like, and just make something up, like, I'll put, like, you know, maybe, like, 2 for 1 deal. It's like a coupon something. And even to, like, kind of sell the coupon thing, I may even, like, add a little, like, dash line like that, because, you know, you're gonna, like, rip it off because it's a coupon. And then even though it doesn't matter, I will change this just slightly, just 2 for 1 deal at local, and then yeah, it cuts off. And then boom, just like that. And then you can keep it straight, but I always do like to just tilt it to the side just like that, because it just looks kind of fontsy, you know, so that's cool. And then we'll just add, like, a basic black background. And even though you may be thinking, why not just use the backdrop, but that's because when it fades into the next, like, costume, we don't need it fading, because if it's the background, it's just going to be the newspaper, and you're going to see everything behind it, which will kind of ruin it. And I'm going to do this cool effect while I do this, kind of, like, spotlight look to it. Well, yeah, you can maybe even do it like that, where it's kind of like, shrouded. I'm trying to see, like, this is just the basic one, but I definitely do like that a lot more, where it's more shining there, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna save it right now. And so now that we actually have, like, you know, this done, and I'm going to do this just for, you know, like I said, continuity and stuff, but I know I keep saying continuity, but that is important, because I feel like one of the biggest problems with FNaF is that, like, nothing's really, like, constant. I mean, obviously, that's kind of the whole point. It's supposed to be, like, this big mystery. But, okay, I was gonna say, maybe if your character has a lot of color, then definitely try, like, grayscaling them, or, like, nothing. Well, Sorry guys, my mom walked in, and nobody wants to hear that boring conversation. But I was gonna say, if you could add a lot, grayscale then, well, there's not like color, because this is like a newspaper, unless it's like maybe they'll sift it through the phone and it's like an ad, then yeah, add color. But I'm doing just like classic newspaper, so kind of like you see how it's not like a brown bear, it's like a gray bear, because it's all like grayscaled. Scratch no, I was say they may have a setting that does that for you, but no, they don't. But so now that we have that done, finally, how this works is just when I receive new game, show, and this is something that's really good. You make it go to the back layer, so then while everything fades out, you don't see it, and then we're gonna make it wait like 7 seconds, and then it goes to the front layer, and since everything before that's already faded out, it doesn't matter, and plus that's gonna be fading in, This may sound confusing, but I really like this, like, trick, I guess I would call it, because it's really useful, and it can make some cool effects, and also it's not complicated at all. And then now we're going to need to add a, hide, set goes to 0, and then now, and like I said, we're going to test it, because we don't want to, like, just move on and be like, oh, it's broken, So now, when we click new game, see that's a problem, like I said. So we need to now add a black background in the back of all of these, so then when that happens, it doesn't just like completely ruin it. And you may notice that it doesn't say continue right here, and there's a good reason for that. That's because continue because the new game, this should be the only time you see it, because it's like a new game. But when you click continue, that's starting the next night. So there's not like really a point in showing that again. It's just gonna show night 1. And now it's time for the night screen, which this will probably gonna stop. Yeah, and then in the next episode I'll show you guys how to make a settings. Yeah, you don't have to do this, but I do like doing a cool like 12 a.m. at the bottom, so they kind of know the time. And then yeah, I'll be right back, guys. My mom's calling me. Okay, sorry guys. My family's like going to Rockport, so I'm trying to make at least 2 parts to this series before I'm gone for like the next 4 days. So yeah, the next episode will be a little while, so that does kind of suck. So so normally you would stop at 6, but mine's a week, so 6 is my final night when normally it would be 5. So for you guys, 6 is gonna be the bonus night, or maybe even 7's my bonus night. Okay, so that's why. And now this is pretty simple. So at the end of this, we do broadcast night, and then it hides. Then when I receive night, switch to costume, and this is going to be our first instance of a variable. Variable night for all sprites. Switch to costume night, and then we can add that in the warning. When I click set night to 1, well, maybe not there, but yeah. So every time you click the flag, it's going to set it to 1, and every time you click new game, this is really important, set night to 1, because it's a new game, you know. Then continue, it's not going to do that, because it's continuing on. So now it's going to switch to custom night, you'll see 1, and that's why you want to number them 1 through 7, or 1 through 6. So then, all you need to do is just set the night, and then it changes numbers, and yeah, it's that easy. So just like that, we have the night done. And then once again, this is pretty simple. We just do a wait, like 3 seconds, repeat 100, change costume, ghost, sorry, by 2. We add a simple, when I click flag, hide, set goes to 0, put a show here, and then boom. And then as the last thing we're going to do is that when it receives both night and continue, it's going to switch to night, because continue is going to go straight to this. It's going to go straight to the night. So that does mean we're going to have 2 things. But this is important. Unless, because if you are going to do this sound where it goes like, which is what I'm going to do, you do need 2 of these. So then it doesn't play the sound twice when it shows the night. So that's why we have 2. You could just do 1 if you're not going to do the sound, but I think you should, because it's going to add some, like, grit to the game. So that's going to be cool. And so that's everything for now. So in the next video, which is going to be like Sunday, I'm sorry, that's going to be there for the next 4 days, probably like, yeah, Sunday, maybe Monday, I'm going to show you how to make, yeah, okay, so see, that's why you play test, because I realized that I need to go to the back layer instead, because instead of fading into it, it just went, boom, kind of, jump scare, so, we click continue, it's going to do that, fade into night 1, then that, okay, see, that's why we checked this out, because you saw how it instantly just moved. So we're gonna have to set this to like 7, so by the time it like actually fades in, that thing stays there for a while, so it doesn't just instantly just, bye bye, blip out. So continue. It's gonna fade, and look, unlike last time, it waits and then fades just like that. Boom. And then now for the final thing we're gonna do is test the new game, just to make sure it's fun, because the new game should show the newspaper, then the night, and then that's a wrap. Like I said in the next video, I'm going to show you how to make an office and an options menu. We were going to do that now, but this video is clocking in on the 30 minutes, which I think is a pretty good time. Then, that was kind of cool. I don't know why I did the... Oh, never mind, guys. I know why. I did the funny thing. I did the for. I forgot to put the broadcast before that, which, like I said, it doesn't really matter. And make sure you name this night screen. But it doesn't matter. But like I said, yeah. So then it does do that cool like fade into it and not just like it appear like that. Because look, now when we do it, yeah, it fades in and it's there, and then it fades out. See, just like that. So yeah, that's a wrap. It was fun doing this, showing you guys, and I'll see you on Sunday, maybe a little bit before that. Sorry that it's gonna take a while for the next video, but I would love to see you guys' game. Maybe send them in the comments below once the series is finished and y'all finished. Bye.